All right, DeGents. Welcome back to the Distinguished DeGents podcast. I am Steve Big Bucks Beta. We have survived and made it back from Buffalo. Money Management, looks like you just got off work. I know I just did myself. Today was sports day, so had to represent Mr. Elway here. Tough end to the trip for you. I have some feelings I'll get off my chest later towards the game, but Moneyman's, at least how are you doing tonight? How are you feeling overall post trip? What do you want to say to the folks now that we're doing our very first Distinguished DeGents live stream?
Well, first, I'm alive. We survived Buffalo. That was good. Other than that, fuck your little greetings. Fuck this. How are you doing? You know how I'm fucking doing. We're not even, I don't want to hear about Patriots, Colts, and all the other fucking games in our normal order. No, we're getting right into it right now. Bills, Broncos, Monday Night Football in Buffalo. Failure. Epic fail. 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. First play of the game. Dalvin Cook. Or not, I always say his stupid name is Dalvin. James Cook. Dalvin Jr., Dalvin Light fumbled. First play of the game. This team's a joke. Ken Dorsey's gone. Here's the last point. I'm going to make it my little rage fest. The excuses are done. McDermott, hey, big boy, guess what? You're next, buddy. This must-win game to make the playoffs. You lose to the Jets this week at home, you fucking get rid of all of them. And you know what? I'm going to say something that's crazy, and you're probably going to think I'm overreacting. But no, I've had enough of it. We've dealt with this for 4 or 5 years now. Guess what? The quarterback, Mr. Allen, you're going to keep playing like this, buddy? You could fucking go too. You could find a new fucking team to throw 4 turnovers and lose in the playoffs. I'm laying the gauntlet. Scorched earth, baby. Scorched earth.
God, you sound like me after Russ's last season.
I've had enough. No more excuses. No more crap. Time to shut up and play football.
Don't get me wrong. I get the anger. I'm not going to say it's 100% justified. I think a lot of the sports media talk. So let me just pose this question to you real quick before I go on my rant. They fired Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator, after this game. A lot of the comments I'm hearing all over, I think Stephen A. Smith was a big proponent of this. Money Management just disappeared. That's awesome.
So did you. He's back.
Coming back, I think, guys.
Yeah, we're back. I'm back.
And we're just going to wait.
I am back.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sorry about that, folks. Anyways.
Yeah, disappeared like the Bills' fucking playoff hope. That's what I did.
All right, here's the quick question. And Stephen A. Smith proposed, do you think Ken Dorsey was a scapegoat? I'll just be straight up. Should he have actually been fired because of this game, because of Josh Allen's turnovers, because of James Cook's turnovers, because there was a 12th man on the field at the field goal last second? Or do you think it was justified?
Was Ken Dorsey a scapegoat? Yes. Did he deserve to be fired? Yes. This offense has been lack of innovation, playing soft, playing scared, bad turnovers, bad play calls, bad everything. Like, this team basically lost its nutsack, and it's time, like, you know what? If the Bills are going to fucking turn the ball over 4 times anyway, I'd at least have them do it with their best shit. Not this fucking, like, they're the only team in football who literally, they have like 15 play drives or turn the ball over. They can't complete a deep pass. They had no innovation. Ken Dorsey, goodbye. Enjoy fucking retirement wherever you go. But at the same time, like I said, Sean McDermott, big boy, buddy boy. Leslie Frazier's gone. Ken Dorsey's gone. The excuses are over. You have 7 games, buddy. 7 games. And if you keep playing like this shit and you end under 500 and don't make the playoffs, you could fucking go too, bro. You can literally go too. And then, you know what? When there's a new coach, guess who else is? Guess who's on the front line there? Your quarterback, Josh Allen. Josh, your coaching staff is gone. The excuses are gone. The bad offensive coordinator, your defense sucks. You have a defensive-minded coach. When the Bills hire somebody new, guess what? Josh Allen, clock's ticking on you. Are you going
Yeah,
to be the new Jim Kelly? Are you going to be in that stratosphere with Patrick Mahomes, with, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers? And I mean, nobody's Tom Brady, but you get the idea. Are you going to be in that upper echelon Hall of Fame type quarterback? Or are you going to be Tony Romo, Matthew Stafford, some of the other guys, Phillip Rivers, who put up a lot of numbers and never did shit? So, big game coming up this weekend. Bills, Jets. Loser goes home. I think the losing coach doesn't have a job next year. So,
I 100% agree with that last comment that you said. I'll be quick here because we're on a bit of a time limit, unfortunately, because of the Thursday night football game.
Let's go. How'd your team look Monday?
First half was fucking dreadful to the point where I almost literally fell asleep in the stands because, it was just typical Broncos bullshit drives where we get the turnover and barely do shit with it. I mean, how many times did we turn the ball over and kick a field goal? This was a game that ultimately, and this is what pissed me off at the fourth quarter, this was a game we should have fucking lost. We had zero business winning this fucking game. Let me tell you why. I don't care about the fourth quarter antics. That Cortland Sutton catch, number 1 catch on the year, I'm not arguing that. Here's the fucking problem. Your defense, Vance Joseph, gave up under, 2 minutes, under 4 minutes, a touchdown to Dalton Kincaid to basically give the Bills the lead. And then your grand 2-minute drill play, vertical down the middle with Jerry Jeudy, who couldn't catch fucking COVID if it meant that his life was going to be saved.
Underthrown by 5 yards.
So fucking underthrown that you get a bullshit PI, which honestly, I say bullshit PI. That was clear pass interference. But also, as a Broncos fan, I couldn't fucking believe that this was how we were going to win the game. And then I thought it couldn't get worse. Okay, we'll just line it up. We'll do it like normal. We'll kick a field goal. I'll be happy. No, what does dipshit special teams expert Sean Payton, onside kick on the first fucking opening weekend, genius dickhead do? Let me tell you what he does. Hey, Russ, line the ball up for Will Lutz on the right hash, but we have 20 seconds and no timeouts. Instead of running the ball, instead of doing a quick out pass to line it up and stop the clock to give your guy plenty of time, no, let's run to the hash and take a fucking knee and bolt off the field. Now, why would you say that's a dumbass idea? Here's the problem. Will Lutz's holder, the play before, couldn't fucking hold the ball, and Denver lost an extra point the play before. Prior to that, the last field goal, they ran a similar type play. I want to say it was either on the center or the left hash. Somehow they got that to work. So why the fuck you would do this game on the line? Totally asinine to me. Now, if you want to say, I didn't want to give Josh Allen 13 seconds, I didn't want to give them 15 seconds, they're the Denver Broncos. You're right now boasting one of the top defenses again in the NFL. That play basically told me I don't trust the defense to stop Josh Allen in 15 seconds, despite all the fucking turnovers.
No timeouts. No timeouts. Bills had no timeouts either. So.
And made no fucking sense to me. But no, let's rush the field goal unit out. All right, here we go. He has 10 seconds. He's lined up. He's just going to wait till the 7 seconds, 6 seconds. No, what does dickhead do? Runs it immediately and fucking shanks it. And I'm so pissed. I fucking knew. This was a new glorious way to fuck up. But no, there's a flag, and there's 12 men on the fucking Bills, and everyone around me is just silent. And I'm literally so mad that all this is going down. All I could think in my head was, this is how we're going to fucking win? Really? No fucking grand ceremonious touchdown. No lining it up. It just goes down the middle. There's the game. I took my hat and jersey off. I was so mad. I was so disgusted with that. And then they kicked the field goal in, and I was just disgusted. Because this was the type of game where the whole narrative of what happened flipped on a switch. Because had there been 11 men on that field, we would not have fired Ken Dorsey. We would not be talking about Josh Allen being next on the chopping block or Sean McDermott. We would be talking about what the fuck was Sean Payton thinking yet again. And here goes the Denver Broncos down to fucking oblivion once again. But no, we get a bullshit Monday night win. Despite there were a lot of positives as a Broncos fan. The turnovers were fantastic. That touchdown to Cortland Sutton. Don't know how the fuck he managed that. That was like filthy, disgustingly good. But as far as the Ken Dorsey, real quick, you had one target to your wide receiver one, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
That is unforgivable. I'm a Broncos fan, and let me just shout out, by the way, Bills Mafia. Not only do y'all live up to your reputation out in Buffalo, I have to say, you guys are like some of the nicest, like most fun fan base I have ever seen in any sports whatsoever. Next to my Colorado fans, of course. But if I ever get to go to Buffalo again, it's an experience. I highly recommend it. But
yeah, agreed. Having never been in Buffalo before, and I'll leave it at this. Like, as a Bills fan, what makes it so hard is like we go to Buffalo, and everybody, like every bar you go to, every store you go to, like it's all Bills. People getting amped up for the game, talking about the game. A lot of people are going. Like, it's a fucking football town, and like everyone's getting excited, and you're getting amped up for the game. And literally, like, especially to the Bills, they fucking get the ball to start the game. And literally, like, the building, they know, like, Bills fans know the importance of that game for the playoffs, what schedule we have coming up. And, like, the first play of the game, fumble. The next drive, fucking interception. It's like
Justin Simmons. Right. By the way, if any of you guys checked out our Twitter rant, we called that shit from jump. We literally said Justin Simmons interception 5-1. We also gave out 4 player props. All 4 fucking hit. Like, we were literally so laser focused on that game. And just literally, I think the only difference we had was our spread picks, where I said it was Broncos plus 7.5. You said that. We were both wrong about the Bills winning, but like I said, the Bills should have won that game. They really should have. Well, but just a spectacular. The Broncos fucked up so bad, they managed to win. That's literally what happened. That's how I feel.
Well,
and now we get to go Sunday night versus the Vikings with Josh Dobbs, the NFL storybook hero now. It's no longer Taylor Swift. Fuck that bitch.
Let's get a favorite, too. Denver, a favorite. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we're going to get into that tomorrow, folks, when we go into our handicaps. But I think we have to get into the recap. Probably do a bit of like a quick session here.
Yeah.
But we'll start off with the Germany game. We already went over the Thursday night. Indianapolis 10, New England 6. Here's what I remember of this game. We lost the first half. I started drinking by 10 a.m. because of how dreadful it was. I figured we should go get some food, so we go get some wings. By the way, shout out Wingnuts and Froth Brewing Company. What a place to go catch the games and get some good food. That was like top list of like experiences we had down there personally.
Yeah, that shit was great.
They had the game on. Holy shit, we don't really have to leave. Let's just hang out here, buy some beers. This was another game you just felt like the Colts should have lost, but New England was just that much worse. Mac Jones, piss poor performance once again. Bill Belichick, they're now talking like they might be trading him. They're talking about how this is his last season as a Patriot, but he's going to go somewhere else. Like, how the hell do you hire Bill Belichick after this performance?
Bro, the worst thing was, bro, he leaves Mac Jones in to fucking suck the whole game, and then for the last drive brings in bit. Like, it was by far one of the stupidest coaching decisions I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he's done. He's done.
I can't believe what made it worse too was the last play, the fake spike on. Why the fuck would you like fake spike on a 4th down? Like, that's a 3rd down play, if anything.
And then he throws like fucking into like quadruple coverage. It was.
I just I literally had Colts defense on my fantasy team because I just had a feeling like this shit was going to happen. But it was just disgusting to see like Gardner Minshew unable to fucking do anything either. And you're just sitting here like it's 10-6. The Pats are going to win. Go get some bullshit touchdown. It's
I know you're like, God damn, am I going to lose my cover? Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It was just so disgusting. It didn't happen. And kind of literally you got to like a backdoor cover the other way. That's how I felt about the Colts. It was just like they should have lost. They probably should have gave up another field goal. I think the guy missed a field goal too, like in the fourth, and it never happened.
Yeah. So that's it for that shit.
That's it for that shit. Let's move to this shit. The San Francisco 49ers, 3-point non-conference road favorites coming off 3 losses and a bye. Did it matter? Fuck no, it didn't matter. Jacksonville Jaguars laid a fucking goose egg at home. Final score was 34-3. Mansman, are the Niners back?
Well, I mean, you could say so. I mean, Deebo Samuel being back is a big thing for them. And you look at the numbers; they bore fruit in terms of the difference of the offense with them as compared to without them. I don't really know with the Jags; it's like a one-off sort of game. They might have just come out flat after the bye. We don't know yet, but yeah, Niners. Strangely enough, everybody but Christian McCaffrey got a touchdown. It felt like so.
Literally, that was what happened. Like everyone but Christian McCaffrey tied the NFL record for consecutive games having a touchdown. Literally, they were trying in the last 40 seconds too to get it to him, and just unfortunately couldn't get it done. But I mean, this Jags team, like this was the Jags team I was worried about when we were doing our futures handicaps. Like this was the Jags team who came out flat, where Trevor Lawrence couldn't do a single thing right. And was going up against – this was the kind of game you learned about the Jags that when it comes to the upper echelon of teams, they're not there yet.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked really bad. And essentially, too, some of their good wins, like that win against Buffalo, not looking too good right now. So, yeah.
That win against Buffalo not looking good. Their win against the Indianapolis Colts earlier in the season, not looking good. I mean, I could go on and on, but it just seems like they've only beaten the bad teams, and it's like, what are you going to do when you get to this harder competition? I mean, you got Houston again coming up. Houston's looking really, really tough right now.
Well, remember, Houston, great record against Jacksonville, and they beat them the first time. So,
yeah, so it just makes you wonder, like, is this Jags team for real, or were they just getting lucky by beating on shit teams? And I think this game just kind of proved they're just not there yet, especially with Trevor Lawrence. He's definitely not in that A-list level. Yeah, you lost to Brock Purdy. If you're the Jags defense, you just let Brock Purdy destroy you.
Yeah, after 3 games of shit. So,
yeah. All right, let me get your opinion on this one. I gave you this win. I was hoping you'd give me a cash out. You never did. Didn't seem to need it anyways, though. Minnesota Vikings, Josh Dobbs, the Pastronaut, 27, covered as a 3-point home dog against the New Orleans Saints, 19. Derek Carr went out with a concussion, I want to say. In comes Jameis Winston, and once again, the Saints blow a game with Jameis coming in. So your Saints are now 5-5 or 4-6. Where are we at now?
5-5. 5-5.
5-5. We got 7 games left to get you to 9.
I think it's a push. I think we're getting a push.
It's going to be close. I think next week's going to play an important factor here. But second great performance by Josh Dobbs. Again, sort of unexpected. You thought the Saints defense would show up, and they just another team that laid an egg. Josh Dobbs, I mean, I don't know if he's the real deal, but I think you're just seeing that with all the shit teams he's been playing with for the past few years, you give this guy time in the pocket, you let him roll out. He's got the leg speed to be a number 1 starting quarterback, I think. And the Vikings just, like, you have to think they set this up for Kirk Cousins, who isn't as good on his feet, but they set up the offensive line to give him time to throw and throw the deep ball. So I'm wondering in the future, like, if Josh Dobbs keeps getting them wins, do you think he's going to be their number 1 next year? You got to start thinking that.
I mean, I don't know.
Bit of an overreaction, but
I don't know. I don't know if they would do that or not. I don't know how far you go with Dobbs. But it's a cool story. I mean, I'm just letting the story ride for as long as it lasts. and they haven't even gotten JJ back yet. Like, if they could get JJ back later on in the year, this
He's due
offense
to
could
come back
really
next week, I think.
be exciting.
He might be coming back for the Denver game.
Geez. Okay. Yeah.
Might be. I'll double check, but like I said, like Josh Dobbs, this is the kind of story that like you kind of, it's kind of like the Case Keenum effect when you think about it. He did the same shit with Minnesota. If Josh Dobbs leads this team to the playoffs, you start to wonder, does he end up getting a starting gig next year? And I think you could see something very similar happen. History has a funny way of repeating itself.
I think just one thing, you got to be careful, though. Like, look at the Daniel Jones effect. Like, Daniel Jones had a good year last year. Like, you just got to be careful.
Yeah, that's very, very true. All right, moving on. The Tennessee Titans, they were 1.5 point road dog. Some sharps were all over that. I wasn't one of them. I was all over Baker Mayfield. They got it done 20-6. Kind of another boring fashion. My takeaway was the Titans are just on the auto fade list at this point. They're unbettable, even with Will Levis. They're two up and down, but primarily they're two down. Bit of a disappointing performance for me with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs here. This was a game you would have thought, like the way it went, it should be a bigger blowout, but no, just another boring ass 20-6 game.
Yeah, I thought Tampa on the bounce back was the right play, although I was scared to play it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Levis is going to need a running game, and I mean that Atlanta win looks horrible now, considering Atlanta's completely just tanking. So yeah, I don't know. I think that was one of those things too. Everyone got carried away the first week he played, and now let's see what you got. And I think the ball is over, and Cinderella's turning into a pumpkin.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Not much else really to take away. Baker Mayfield going up against not Dallas. Who the hell? Oh, they're going up against the Niners next week in San Francisco.
Well, then back down to earth, go the Bucs.
Yeah, well, that's going to be an interesting handicap. I'm going to say that
I do need to get into that.
The Bucs are in a weird spot here, but so are the Niners, in my opinion. But we'll save that for another episode. We're gonna, or for the next episode, we're gonna jump ahead. The Baltimore Ravens, they were 6.5 point home favorites. Deshaun Watson literally goes out in the first half. Another fourth quarter disaster.
Dog of the week,
they lose
baby.
The game 31-33. Cleveland wins. Cleveland gets the cover. Your dog of the week hits. I'll leave the comments to you on this one, but this was your dog of the week. I told you it was bad, and I was wrong. So,
well, I mean, it's not exactly how you expected the AFC North game to go. I was expecting a much lower scoring game, but couple big turnovers late for Lamar, and Cleveland just sort of hung around despite being down 24-9 earlier in the game. I don't know, these AFC North teams, they always seem to play these sort of weird games. That's part of my handicap tonight. I'm expecting another weird game. So, yeah, I thought the number was too high. Especially, I think the game was in Cleveland, right? Or I think it was in Cleveland.
It was in Baltimore.
Oh, was it in Baltimore? Still thought it was a little bit too high of a line considering Cleveland's defense. And, they got a couple turnovers late, the pick six off the guy's helmet, a bit of a lucky play. But dog of the week, baby. One of my few games that I got right 1:00. So
this was another game, like I'm on the right side of it the whole time, and then the witching hour comes and just says, fuck you. We're taking your lunch money now. Like, suck it. And that's just how it felt watching that second half with the Ravens. It literally just felt like there was nothing you could do. Didn't ever feel like there was a good time to hedge or try to middle. You just felt like at some point the Ravens will just get the win, they'll get the cover, Cleveland kept going and they kept fucking driving. And last note I'll say, Deshaun Watson now out for the year, broken shoulder, I think, something like that. Goes in at halftime, and let me just say, apparently, just say no to drugs isn't the fucking answer, kids. Apparently the answer, if you ever want to make $250 million, guys, just go fucking sexually assault like 60 to 70 women at a massage parlor. And then all you got to do is when you break your shoulder in a football game, just have the guy pump you full of fucking like opium and, narcotics and just get numb and get high as a kite and then go out and throw 14 for 14 in the second half and lead your team to a win.
That's a crazy thing too. Like, he looks so good and now his season's over. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like apparently drugs are the answer if you're the Cleveland, like drugs and misogyny is the answer for Cleveland. That's what that game told me at the end of the day. So, great. Love the motivational speech for there. Hopefully I don't get fired, but that's okay. All right. God, I hate this game. My best bet, the Cincinnati Bengals fucking blow it against the Houston Texans. I mean, the obvious takeaway, CJ Stroud might be the real fucking deal here.
I think I don't think that. I think they not might be. I think we could say for sure that he is.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that fucking take. I'll say this too: Joe Burrow, bit looking like he's coming down to earth, kind of like with the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allen theory. It just seems like that top echelon, like they've sort of had like a weird regression this year when you look at these games. And the Bengals defense so up and down, and to let the Houston Texans of all fucking people come in and just drop over 30 on you, it just seems like.
And it was weird. The Houston defense played a good game. Like, that game looked closer than it was at the end because there was that CJ Stroud interception. But, like, it was 27-17, and Houston was on pace for, like, a good win, and then it got close at the end. But, I don't know, man. Cincinnati, maybe another team, caught the Niners at the right time, beat the Bills, who weren't any good. Maybe a team that got a little bit overrated to the middle of the year. And now, I mean, this is a really interesting game because you just wonder what Cincinnati Bengals team you're going to see tonight. So
it really, especially coming off the loss, now they're going on the road Thursday night into Baltimore. And I can't wait to handicap that game.
Yeah, Ravens blackout tonight.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on. Under of the week also doesn't hit because apparently Green Bay remembered how to score. They didn't remember how to win, though. They still lost 18-23 to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh covered as a 3-point home favorite. Once again, NFC non-conference road teams, they just didn't get the job done. And again, I said in the handicap, Green Bay needs to remain on auto fade. They literally should have lost 7 in a row by now, but that Saints win is still kind of haunting that. And that's kind of my takeaway. Like, this Packers team was so overblown in the first 2 weeks, and now you're just seeing that close game against Atlanta was probably the best indicator of like where they really were at. Because Atlanta is not a good team, as we're learning here later in this season. We're learning their other 2 wins were probably bullshit. One was against the Chicago Bears. Like, what the fuck? Like, anybody who thought to bet money on Green Bay, I really want to know, what the fuck were you thinking?
Well, Pittsburgh continues to be the worst fucking 6-3 team. And I mean, Pittsburgh's just so not good. And they just like find ways to, like, I don't even know how. I'm still convinced that Green Bay was the right play because I don't understand how Pittsburgh covered the number. Like, it's just
because they have a defense.
But God, Pittsburgh is like terrible. And they just like find ways to win.
Offense, their defense is literally what's keeping. They remind me a lot of the 2000 Ravens, where the 2000 Ravens had like a dreadful offense that like all they could do was game manage and get them to not lose. Meanwhile, the Ravens defense was the ones that were getting all the points. They were the ones stopping the other team the whole time. They literally were the class definition of you can't win if you don't score enough. And Pittsburgh just seems to be able to do enough on offense and just let their defense take the reins for the majority of the game when they do win. Yeah, and Matt Canada, another offensive coordinator, needs to fucking go.
Well, winning's the best deodorant, man. You keep winning, and it keeps the vultures at bay. I mean, look, I'll leave it with this. My concern is that the Steelers are going to be like the Vikings last year for a lot of people, where it's like, I'm looking to fade the Steelers, but they keep winning. Like they shouldn't. I feel like every week, although this week it's weird with the Deshaun Watson injury, and they went from like a
Out
4-point
for the year.
underdog to like they practically pick them now.
1.5 now on FanDuel. But they're starting DTR. They're not starting PJ Walker. They're starting DTR.
No, are they really?
I swear to God, yeah.
So so Pittsburgh's their favorite now.
No, they're plus 1.5, plus 100.
Okay, dog of the year.
Dog of the week. Yeah,
no,
dog of
the year. Pittsburgh Steelers right now. I'm actually, once we're done the show, I'm going to bet Pittsburgh. If they're starting DTR, this is the bet of the year. DTR is shit. And the fact that literally, honestly, this could be ladder alt spreads. Like, I might start alt spreading this. Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
Oh, listen, what do you think of this move? ESPN Bet just came out. If you previously signed up with Barstool, you were getting the same promos as new users. So all you have to do is relog into ESPN Bet with a Barstool account. If you made one, if you didn't, just sign up as a new user. Place literally any bet for any amount you want, whatever is in your bank account. You get $450 free bets. Do you just alt spread the Steelers line with each $50 bet and just see how much you could rake in?
Oh man, I don't know if I want to do that.
That is literally a free ladder roll if you really want to.
Damn, I might put a 50 piece though on I might put one of those free bets on the Steelers because that is a joke that they're underdogs. So yeah.
You know what? Like, I think I already have money on the Steelers, so do I just do it again? Like,
yeah, come on, they're an underdog with DTR playing quarterback, bro. This is the guy who threw 3 interceptions against the Ravens, and the Steelers always beat Cleveland. Yeah, this is a joke. This is a joke. Dog of the year, Pittsburgh Steelers. Nothing.
It's at even. It's plus 100 right now on ESPN Bet. So I'm doing it. Yep, free. And honestly, like I might alt spread. I'm going to consider doing it, but I'm going to wait. But yeah, I just used one of my free rolls on Steelers. That's a free 50 if you ask me.
Yeah. What are they at? Plus 110, plus 120?
Plus 100.
Ooh, plus 100, even money.
Literally even money.
Man.
But yeah, again, this was a game. I called it. The Green Bay, they can't do shit. They went up against a superior defense. Pittsburgh did just enough to get the win in the cover, which is what I thought was going to happen. But I did not expect Green Bay to score as much as they did. That was the upsetting factor. But all right, moving on. All right, we're gonna probably about this one real quick, but the Detroit Lions 41, the LA Chargers 38. The -3 did end up pushing, so depending on where you got this line depends on whether you hit here. This was my dog of the week. They did not get the win. What a fucking sack of nuts on Dan Campbell going to Brandon Staley's house and showing him how to end a game on 4th down appropriately. Literally, which sucked because that's how they got the win. But you know what? Like, that's the difference between a good head coach and a shitty head coach. A good head coach knows how to call a 4th down play appropriately and gets it done. But that's also there are times you take that risk. There are times you don't. Dan Campbell, that was a great time to make that call.
And you know the way the game is going. Like, that's the time to go for it on 4th down because you know if you punt the ball back the way those offenses were going, whoever had the ball last was going to win the game. Like, there was no question about it. Whoever had the ball last was winning because they were just basically going up and down the field. So unlike what, he's done in the past, what Staley's done in the past with his bullshit fucking, in a 17-20 game going for it on 4th down from your own 30, this was the time where you go for it on 4th down because either way, if the Chargers got the ball, you knew they were scoring. So,
yep, yeah, 100%. It just sucks. Again, this was another game. You just feel like you could have been on the right side at any point, and it just never happened.
Lions 2.5, baby.
There you go. Chargers +3. It pushed, unfortunately. But you know what? But that was what, like, I think it was like we were both right, but we were both wrong at the same time. Like, I did not believe in the Lions defense as strongly as you did, but I also understood, like, that was the kind of game you watch. You're like, yeah, Justin Herbert kind of falling off a cliff here. Still not getting the job done when literally what it comes down to, like, when he needs to make the play, when he has the ball and he needs to manage it to a win, he just seems to choke every single time.
That is true. Fair assessment. Fair point.
And this just happened again. And I'm literally gonna have to remember that going forward. But yeah, that was the second 4:00 game. I did skip over one, unfortunately, so we're gonna go there. The Atlanta Falcons lost in the final minutes to the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, little person 1.0 is back. He is a winner. Should have been my dog of the week. I didn't have the nuts.
Don't call him a winner.
Is a winner.
He's not a winner.
He is a winner.
No, he's not. He hasn't won jack shit in this league.
If I had the nuts, this should have been my dog of the week, but I scared myself.
Taylor Heineke got hurt early in the game. We get Desmond Ridder, and Atlanta still should have won, except they fucking blow. I'm done with Atlanta. Atlanta auto fade. Done with them. Hate Atlanta.
Yeah.
Done.
Atlanta has now lost 3 straight as road favorites with Desmond Ridder. Taylor Heineke, 0-4-1 as a starter in his last 5 now. And what is Arthur Smith going to shave off this time for a fucking excuse?
I mean, fucking nuts off is what he should shave.
I was gonna say he can cut his nuts off at this point because he doesn't clearly fucking have any to get a stop against Kyler Murray. I mean, like, literally the videos of him scrambling on that last play, everybody's comparing him to a toddler, and this is NFL football, and you lose to a running toddler. Like,
I don't mind if you just keep him in the pocket. He's no fucking good, but they just let him run around all day, and it was terrible performance. Disgusting performance. We didn't see a lot of the game because that wasn't the one on the TV, like the bar we were at, which is probably good because literally I probably would have ended up in handcuffs watching that shit. So,
yeah. I think we should be in handcuffs for not doing the mortgage bet on this game. The Dallas Cowboys, 41. The New York Giants, Tommy DeVito, 17. Unfortunately, did not hit my team totals parlay there, but despite that, Dallas was not only the clear play here. I should have made this the mortgage bet. We literally had banks all around us. We had the opportunity, and what did we do? We literally sat on it and did nothing. And not like it mattered, but yeah, Dallas clearly gets the win, gets the cover. Not really much to take away from either team. Dallas just beat on a shit Giants team yet again. The Giants with a third-string quarterback sucks yet again. Brian Daboll, like I hope he doesn't lose his job because of this shit. It's just so unfair.
Yeah, that team has just completely mailed it in. And yeah, like you said, nothing really to say. The game was never in doubt that it was going to make it. So
Tony Pollard still can't get in the fucking end zone, though. What a fucking shit move by Dallas on that end, letting Zeke go for Pollard to not have anything go on the running game.
Yeah, not really have a replacement for Zeke either. You know what I mean? That was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a small takeaway here. Like, in this big of a game, to not have that happen really makes you wonder. But, all right, jumping ahead, we got the Seattle Seahawks, who were at home. They were 5.5-point home favorites. Had a fishy feeling about this one. Wish I played it better, but Washington plus 5.5 road dogs. They got it done. I called it. This was my over of the week. It did hit over 45.5. But Washington did not get the win like I kind of thought was a possibility, although I will say it did come close to a shootout. Is this the game where you start to believe that the Seahawks might be washed? Pete Carroll might be done as like a superior head coach. Is this more about the commies with Sam Howell?
Honestly, the
And
commies are surprising me with how close they're playing because I had written them off earlier in the year. I did have a lot of Seattle -2.5 tickets in the bank, so that was good. But yeah, I don't know. To me, like if anything, Carroll wins another sort of ugly game. Seems like the Seahawks play a lot of these and seem to win. And you look at it, Seattle's perfectly, okay. I mean, they got the job done. But yeah, I don't know, man. Seattle's defense is just very hit or miss for me. Sometimes they play well and look good, and then other than again, got to remember that was against the Giants in prime time.
yeah, this is
Since that Giants game, the Seattle defense has kind of struggled.
this is another 6-3 team I don't get. Like they just seem like frauds.
The Steelers of the
NFC.
NFC. Yeah, the Steelers of the NFC.
Well, not even because like you would have to argue they're excelling on defense only or they're excelling on offense, but it just seems like they're just so middle of the road. They honestly remind me more of like Cleveland with Deshaun Watson when, like you didn't get why they won. They just did.
No, see, it's different because I see Seattle as having like a mediocre offense and defense. Cleveland had like a below average offense and a defense that was, I mean, if you look at their like DVOA numbers, like in the first 8 weeks of the season, Cleveland's defense was basically like double as good as like the rest of the league combined.
Yeah.
Like the number 2 team was miles away from like where they were. So that was crazy.
That is a bit crazy. But yeah, Seahawks get it done 29-26. Sunday Night Football, the Jets. Why are we making the Jets a favorite? Literally, why? Why would you make the Jets a favorite? Wrong side, wrong team favored. The Raiders at home. It was ugly. It was horrendous. Devontae, I think, only got 1 catch. I don't really know. I'll take a look.
Josh Jacobs, baby. JJ, he's back. Josh Jacobs is back.
I lied. Devontae got 6 catches this time around. 86 yards. So hopefully that trade doesn't fucking bite me in the ass towards the end of the season. But again, my handicap, Josh Jacobs could beat this team. What happened? Josh Jacobs beat the Jets.
Yep.
Zach Wilson, fucking awful performance. 23 for 39, 1 pick. Did get 263 passing yards.
Yeah,
54 rushing yards. But who cares? You lost. You're a loser.
12 points. Like, killer interception late in the game. Basically lose the game.
Yeah. Just the Jets offense, it just is like watching paint dry.
You remember Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is literally the Nathaniel Hackett effect. The only difference is like these teams are throwing up. You look at the paper, Garrett Wilson, I think he had like 9 catches for 93 yards. Tyler Conklin, 7 for 70. Denver couldn't do that shit last year if they fucking tried with Nathaniel Hackett. This year, it's just like you're putting up stats, you're not putting up points. And if you're not putting up points, you're not winning. So why the fuck the Jets still think Nathaniel Hackett's the answer? Why they still are going with Zach Wilson this late in the season, knowing he hasn't produced shit for this offense, is mind-boggling. The fact that Robert Saleh still has a job endorsing this kid at quarterback.
Well, I mean, think of it this way, bro. Like, the Bills and Jets are playing this week. They're both 5-5. The Jets haven't changed shit with their offense struggling. The Jets would probably kill to have an offense like the Bills, and the Bills just got rid of their offensive coordinator because they've been struggling. Like, look at the fucking difference. Like, there's just there seems to be no urgency with this Jets team. It's like they're just content to run Zach out there and score their little 12 points a game and fucking lose by 5. And I don't know, man. It's really weird, the excuse making, and I don't know. I guess they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers or something. But by the time he's healthy and comes back, I mean, they could. I mean, look, like we said, they lose to Buffalo this week, their season's over. I mean, you're not In the AFC, you're not coming back with all of those conference losses. You're just not.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Give me a second. The mic is cutting out. Sorry about this.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, so. Oh, he's back.
Can you hear me, bud?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can see you talking, but it's not coming through on my end. But
Oh,
let me try audio fix real quick and then go from there.
gotcha. Let me know.
There we go. Can you do a quick test? Damn, what the heck?
Can you hear me now? Still no?
Is that because my Bluetooth's on? Anyways, I'll just get my last. I'll introduce the last one. I'll let you go, and I'll see if I can get this fixed real quick. But moving forward, Monday night, we already talked about the Bills. Shit. So this is the last one.
Yeah. So we're on to Thursday.
All right. Well, I'll introduce the Thursday night game, and then I'll let you go first, and then hopefully we don't fight. But just to introduce it real quick, we do have the Cincinnati Bengals going to the Baltimore Ravens Thursday night football. They're 3.5-point road dogs. Ravens are currently minus 194 on the money line. Bengals plus 162. Over under is 46.5. Money Manson, what is your take?
I'll preface it by saying I don't like the number. I really don't like that it's 3 and a hook. But Baltimore, for me, is the play. They had a really, basically a very tough loss last week. They're coming back home where they've been great after a loss. They've won their last 9 games after a loss. And I don't know, this is a really bad matchup for the Bengals defense. They struggle mightily against the run game. I think that's going to be a big problem for them all night. I could see Baltimore putting up 200 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. I think it's much more likely that the Ravens win in a blowout than the Bengals covering the number. So with that, I'm going to go with the I'm not going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens minus the 3.5. And I'm going to go over. I do think that, we've seen it before, the Ravens giving up some points later in the game. So I'm going to go with them, but I'm going to go with the over. But yeah, for me, really, Ravens are the only play here. They're coming off a tough game, tough loss. And I think this is a good bounce back spot for them at home against a division rival. And I know the Bengals need the game, but I just have real serious concerns about this Bengals defense. So that's my play. And then once Big Bucks comes back in, I think we'll probably just Big Bucks, why don't you just give your play? I gave my handicap. Why don't you just give your play real quick and we'll call it. If you could hear me.
You there, bud?
Other side. I gave my handicap already, bro. Why don't you just give your handicap and we'll call it?
All right, I see you on there. I don't know what's going on with this volume on my end, though. I'm trying to get it fixed, but I'll give my handicap real quick, and then
then we'll call it. Yeah.
All right. This is finally. First of all, thank you, Amazon Prime, for finally giving us a good Thursday night football matchup. I'm assuming that Money Man's handicap was this is an AFC North division rivalry game. You're getting 3.5, so just lay it with the dog because they always play close. Yada yada yada. Joe Burrow. No, he went the other way. Interesting. All right.
Have to use hand signals.
Yeah, time Lamar comes to mind. Blackout Ravens comes to mind. This is the spot you take the Ravens, and it's Ravens or nothing for me. And this is literally the biggest home spot for the Ravens this season. This is a must win if they want to clinch the division, in my opinion. They're already coming off the loss to Cleveland last week. And like I said, like them coming off the win is a huge factor. Lamar going up against the Bengals, 7-1 straight up as a starter. Ravens have won 4 of their last 5 against Cincinnati at home. Burrow as a road dog is always tempting, but like you're truthfully probably getting a 50-50 chance, in my opinion. He's only 4-4 straight up, but he is 6-2 ATS. He's lost 3 straight up against the AFC North opponents as a road underdog. He's lost 4 of his last 5 straight up against the AFC North. The last 2 matchups were within this number, so like I was hoping this would go to 4. It didn't happen, but the Ravens, when they win, they cover. And like I know the road division dog is like a key thing in the AFC North, but if you like, the numbers I got, if you go back to like week 5, I think it is. No, week 6. Going back to week 6, road dogs in divisional matchups, they're only 1-8 straight up in ATS, and that was Cleveland last week. So generally, teams in this spot like are not a good bet. They're 1-10 straight up, I think, since week 4. Ravens, like I thought they were the right side of the handicap last week, so I'm sort of doubling down on that mentality. This is going to be, they're still the best first half team in football. I think you can get them at 2.5 still. So I would honestly, like, if you had to make a bet, if you weren't confident on the 3.5, go bet the Ravens minus 2.5 first half. Because I think that's just going to be a stronger play. I think and if you think this is another game, Baltimore might blow in the fourth quarter, you'll at least get the first half one. 8-2 ATS, and I just think it's worth a bet when you get the 4-5 Bengals in the first half. Money Mansman, this is an over game for me. I do expect some scoring. I do think it's a little bit low, but I got nothing else here. Do you have any final words you want to say?
No.
All right. Thank you for joining us, DeGents. Hopefully you freaking hear us, and sorry about the technical difficulties.
No.
Hopefully we get here, but as we always say, go make that motherfucking money.
Peace out.
All right.